Nostalgia is unbelievably powerful. It's that sentimental longing and affection for the past, usually of a time or a place where you felt happiest. Because as time goes on and we all get older, life becomes more complicated, more stressful. Time seems to fly by. Thinking back to your childhood, what you used to watch on TV or listen to on the radio, the adventures you and your friends or family used to go on. Nostalgia is unbelievably powerful because most of the annoyances and inconveniences of the past are erased with time, and what you're left with are positive associations and memories. So how is this related to lost media? Well, lost media is a giant catch-all term for media that no longer exists, is missing, or isn't available to the public anymore. And what do I mean by media? Well, media includes almost everything. Movies, TV shows, advertisements, magazines, books, video games, music, software, and even websites. The world is filled to the brim with media, and sadly, a lot of that media gets lost. That nostalgia that you might have for a specific thing, well, that thing might not be there anymore. Whether it was destroyed, deleted, saved over, the license was lost, or any number of other things. Because of this, there are a ton of people out there that work hard to hunt down lost media and try their best to preserve it. Not just for historically curious people, but to satiate their own nostalgia. So many people seem to be chasing the comfort of the past because the present isn't great. And the future, well, it's unknown. Nostalgia isn't just a massive money-making opportunity for companies and corporations. It's the realization that so many people out there, they want to feel young again. Lost media is a fascinating concept that even dips its toes into the Mandela Effect as well as the dead internet theory. This chase to find our past joys has resulted in a lot of dead ends, a lot of things lost, having been deleted, or in some rare instances, apparently never having existed before. The obvious Mandela Effect example to mention is the early 90s Sesame movie starring Sinbad that so many people remember watching, but seemingly never existed. I've talked about this specific example to death, but it's the go-to easiest example of lost media. If that movie was ever found, like truly found, even just some clips or a trailer, not only would this be incredible to the lost media community, but imagine what that would do to the Mandela Effect community. The reaction would be astronomical. In relation to the dead internet theory, so much of the World Wide Web is gone. In fact, the vast majority of what existed, websites, pages, pictures, links, articles, videos, and music, they can't be found or located. It's a graveyard of lost media, and if any of it does still exist somewhere, it's inaccessible. So now that you're up to speed with lost media and its relation to this channel, let's talk about a few examples of lost media that I really find interesting. First up is the BBC sci-fi show Doctor Who. Started in 1963 and still in production to this day, this long-running and very successful series has amassed nearly 900 episodes. So what is the lost media surrounding Doctor Who? Well, the series is currently missing 97 episodes, as in they don't exist anymore and will probably never be found in their entirety. Between 1967 and 1978, many videotapes and films stored in the BBC's film libraries were written over or destroyed to make way for newer programs. This happened for several reasons, but mainly because there wasn't a practical value to holding on to these episodes. No one working on that production or in that medium at the time could have envisioned a day where you could stream older episodes of TV shows, or purchase complete collections on discs. It simply wasn't a thing that existed. Content was made, viewed, and possibly broadcasted again in the future, but that was all. Before there was only 97 missing episodes, a public campaign by the BBC was created that helped find many lost episodes of Doctor Who, through donations from private collectors or overseas broadcasters. Although most reels were heavily edited due to censorship or time constraints, certain episodes have had their audio recovered, and others have stills from certain moments, but that's it. It is highly unlikely that the complete lost episodes will ever be seen again. Seriously, sit back and imagine this for a second. Imagine if your favorite show had lost nearly 100 episodes of it. 100 episodes never to be seen again. Call it preservation, call it nostalgia, call it digital hoarding, or whatever you want to call it. Realize that it's an important piece of history. It's one of those things where you have to experience it to truly understand it. You might not care about whatever media has been lost, but if it was something that you cherished growing up, it'd be an entirely different story. It's something to really think about. Empathy and understanding are everything. Another interesting example of lost media is one of the first vampire movies known to have ever been made. It was called London After Midnight, and it was a silent film from 1927. Just look at that artwork. Unfortunately, the film was destroyed in 1967 during an MGM vault fire. No known recordings or copies of the film have ever been discovered, and to this day, London After Midnight is still one of the most sought-after pieces of lost media. This film, whether good or bad, represented a historical milestone in cinema history, and now, that history is lost. In fact, more than 75% of all films made during the silent era are now lost. Just try to comprehend that figure. Imagine if 75% of, PlayStation 2 games were lost, or 75% of Disney movies were lost. It's an absurd and depressing number, never to be seen again. When you replace the silent era with a genre today that people are more aware of or relate to, it really highlights how shocking of a figure this is. This next example is really exciting because it was just solved. That's right, this next example of lost media was missing for 46 years, and it has finally been found. It was an episode of Sesame Street from 1976, where the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz actually visited the set. Apparently, parents were concerned about how scary the episode was, and after enough complaints, it was never broadcasted again. From that day forward, for 46 years, it didn't exist. This was true lost media. People shared all kinds of thoughts and speculations. Was it simply in a vault somewhere? Was it deleted? Maybe out there was a hidden copy of the episode. Questions like those existed for a long time. After 46 years, it finally got some resolution. It was a random user on Reddit that posted the entire lost episode just out of the blue. I wonder how it felt to hold on in your possession something so rare and so sought after for all those years. Who knows, maybe they didn't even know what they had. There are some people out there who would use that kind of leverage to make a ton of money. But thankfully, there are other people who just want history to be accessible to all. Let's just be thankful that this episode was in the hands of one of those kinds of people. Take a second and imagine all of the lost music that has been created throughout history. The songs that were made before music could even be recorded. All of the sheet music that was created but was lost or destroyed. All of the broken records, tapes, CDs, corrupted digital files. Once humanity first found a way to record and replay audio, we have captured noise, and since that time, so much has been lost. I talked about the 2008 Universal Studios fire in my video Brand New Mandela Effects Episode 4, where countless irreplaceable master copies of songs were lost. That fire destroyed over 500,000 original master recordings. Who knows how many of which were never before released, or were known of and legitimately sought after lost media. Whatever they were, they're gone now. When it comes to music, anything lost is tragic. But imagine how much classical music will never be heard again, where anyone that ever heard it has long since been dead. For example, Mozart, one of the most well-known composers of all time, who had written and performed over 600 pieces of music, to this day still has lost and incomplete works. And at this point, the chances of ever finding them are near zero. When it comes to video games, the losses are numerous. Alpha and beta builds of games that have never publicly seen the light of day, digital titles that have been delisted, unique demos that are no longer hosted, and even physical releases that have been lost to time. There are even some games that people loved and were extremely popular that simply aren't playable anymore. 1 vs 100 is one such game. It was an Xbox 360 release that was based off of the 1 vs 100 reality game show. What made this game so fun is that you played with all real players and competed to win a grand prize of 10,000 Microsoft points, which was equivalent to about $125 in Xbox credit. It was an exciting live event that was free to anyone at the time that had Xbox Live Gold and an Xbox 360 game console to play it on. I personally got to experience a bunch of these sessions, and it was a lot of fun. 1 vs 100 ran for 2 seasons and was downloaded over 2.5 million times, and actually earned a Guinness World Record for most contestants in a game show with over 114,000 simultaneous players. All of this success, fame, and enjoyment makes what happened to this game all the more sad. After 2 wonderful seasons, the game was sadly and suddenly canceled in 2010. Apparently it wasn't bringing in enough revenue in comparison to the development, maintenance, and prize costs. The game can no longer be played, and without a live event going on, it's impossible to replicate the experience. It really was something special in its time. It might sound silly, but it makes me want to appreciate the here and now because you never know how long something will last. There's still some videos you can watch online of 1 versus 100, and as of 2018, an archived offline single-player version of the game can still be played on hacked Xbox 360s, but it simply isn't the same experience. It's really weird to think that something millions of people played and enjoyed can't be experienced anymore. If you really sit down and think about the grand scheme of what has been lost, honestly, it's overwhelming. Most of the media created by humans across all of the hundreds of thousands of years we have existed, our songs, our stories, our entertainment, have been lost. Locating and preserving history for future generations is a noble cause. The hunt for the unseen and the thrill of finding it, it's incredible. I don't disagree or look down upon anyone dedicating their time to that task. We all enjoy different things, and that's okay. But in relation to nostalgia and the past, the truth is, you can't go back. Those cherished times and experiences will always be with you, but you can't replicate those moments. Now, that isn't for a lack of trying. People have been chasing nostalgia since, well, people have had nostalgia. People love to talk about memories in the past, revisiting them over and over throughout their life, sharing them with as many people as they can as they look for common ground to connect with others. And at the same time, corporations try to make money off brands and experiences you once enjoyed, while you chase a high that will never fulfill you. There's an entire market dedicated to rehashing the past for a quick buck today. It's the same reason we got a 6th Jurassic Park movie, another Star Wars, another video game being re-released for the 15th time. It's the same reason younger people love SpongeBob memes, and the same reason why 80s and 90s nostalgia is so big right now. Everyone wants a piece of that happiness from the past, their memories, the nostalgia, the great feelings. But what you have to realize is that you are here now, making new memories and going through new experiences. Your life isn't over, it's still going. You don't have to look back to find joy. The future is right there, you just have to reach out and grab it, make it yours. So many people get stuck like this, where they get so focused on what was instead of chasing what is and what will be. So let's cherish our memories, but also work hard to make new ones.